I make more than most of the men I date, but I love black men. So we make something work. But it's a conversation that we have to be very intentional, because not everybody is really comfortable with the fact that a woman out earns them. Some people are.
Wait, why do you date down?
To be completely honest, I know we've been having a lot of fun. That's not necessarily where my priorities is. I'm gonna get the money. Whether you get it or I'm gonna get it, the money's gonna come. I'm not worried about that. Do I got somebody that I can rock with? And if I can rock with you and you making 20, I can rock with you. If I rock with you and you ain't got no car and you ride the mother trolley, shout out to the trolley. It's up. Because at the end of the day, if you know, like I know, when you get to these positions, you just need somebody that's going to have your back.
So she was saying that this is the approach she's taken, it seems like. We don't know if she's currently dating a person, but she says in her relationships, like, she has to have that conversation, right? So it seems like nothing serious has become of these relationships when she's taking this approach still, right? But she's, I guess, had a good time, and they were understanding that she makes more, okay? So she said that it's because regardless of what they make, she's going to get that money.
Right.
And he said, why do you date down? First, I will say that a person's income and what they make is not the only thing you should use to determine whether you're dating down or up. And I understand if he's just saying, why are you dating somebody who makes lower? But no, dating down means that you completely lowered everything for them.
You're lowering your standard, right?
Exactly. And I don't think that's fair, because it's way more to a person, man or woman, than just the amount they make, okay? So in that breath, yes, I agree with her too. And I think that's healthy, actually. Now, we talked about, I think in a past video, people using public transportation.
For sure.
In different, times of your life, like you're in college, whatever. A lot of people don't have a car on campus, things like that, right? But then if you live in a big city, like New York, Chicago, whatever, a lot of people are using public transport. She talking about a trolley. It makes me think about like San Fran. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
but
getting on the bus.
Bottom line is, that's not what she's looking at. And she's like, okay, but as long as you can hold me down, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take it further, right? As long as you show me you got the qualities of a man. And again, because we're looking for the future. We're looking for a marriage, the end goal, right? As long as you got the qualities of a man to take care of us, to make me feel safe and protected as the protector that a man should be. As long as I know that, I can trust you, whatever. A father that our future children can look up to. Those things are the things that matter, right? It's not to say that this person is not working hard. It's just the field that they're in, right? I don't know what field she's in. Is not making as much money as her. Are you okay with that? Is he okay with that? Is he just saying he okay with it and not really okay with that? So those are very healthy conversations to have. Yes, I agree. That should not be, that's the lesson for all of us. The only reason why you would or would not get with someone.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught it, but like how she redirected when he said dating down. She said that's not her priority. It's whether or not it'll be perceived as dating down or her lowering her standards. So she didn't necessarily even co-sign this idea that it would be dating down just because he makes less. She said the priority for her is not that. It's to find a good man. It's to find somebody that she can come home to and be happy at the end of the day. Because in her mind, and I don't think it's anything wrong with this, I think a lot of people get so caught up in women doing well, and it's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 but you don't have a family. And I do think it matters, that you don't put your success or having a family at the altar of you being a successful person. I don't think that that's always going to yield the best results in long term for women as far as their happiness and overall joy and fulfillment in life. I think it's deeper than just having a career. But I do think that sometimes people will go to the opposite extreme where it's like you look down at a woman like that that's doing well and has money. And I don't have a problem with a woman making more money than the person that they're with. But I do think it's important for us to say that we need to have a pathway for her in a mentality of how to view this to where you're not necessarily looking at it as dating down. You're looking at it as what are you looking for in a person? What do you want to feel when you go home after a long day of work? What do you want to come home to? Who do you want to build a family with? And if those are the things that you care about, the person you know, 20, I think she said 20,000. Like that's, I'm right. That's lower than minimum wage almost, or right at minimum wage, depending on where you're at, I guess. So that's not a lot of money at all. So, but if she's doing well and whatnot, and he wants to work to, you know, feel dignified, feel like he's contributing something, she's saying like, hey, you don't have to be making, the money isn't the factor in this. It's more so going to come down to your character. Now, a lot of people have automatically assumed that if you're not making a lot of money, then you're of low class, low character, all of these different things.
Yeah.
You can't always make that connection.
No,
you can't always do that. So I think she is taking a very gracious posture in this and saying like, you know, I just want the right person. Whether they make more than me or less than me is not the priority, because she's going to get money. She's like, I have the tools. I know how to make money. I know how to bring in money. I'm secure in that. And that's a good thing. I don't think that's bad at all, especially with a lot of women you'll find nowadays. They can take care of themselves in that. And so that's not what they're going to be looking for in a relationship. And that's the biggest evolution in modern dating is, in the past, a woman did not have as much of an ability to provide for themselves as men did, and the opportunities weren't there. And that wasn't good. That wasn't for the better, I don't believe. But now we live in an age where women can take care of themselves. They're educated, more educated than a lot of men. They have opportunities. They're going up the ladder. They're making good money. But what it comes down to now is, okay, because that's not a huge, you know, golden star that men can have, I think, especially, and she contextualizes it to black men. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think all black men are not making money, but I also don't know. I'm just taking a number she threw out there, 20,000. So I'm like, I'm guessing she's making in the six figures, well into six figures, and doing well for herself. Bare minimum six figures. So she's like, you know, whatever he brings in will just be nice. And so I think that's cool. I think all of that should be celebrated, that she has the mentality that that shouldn't be the deal breaker. I think more women have to go into it saying that's not going to be a deal breaker. And I think it's just one of those things where you got to be careful when you're like, oh, I've done all this work in my education. I've worked all of this. I should have the best man. I'm like, well, does that man want you though? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Does that man want you from your own race? Like there may be a man that wants you, but then you have to be willing to say, if it's going to be a black man, does that black man that you're trying to select for, does he want you? And in a lot of cases they don't.
I wanted to hit on real quick. The first one is, she's probably dated men, black men, who make what she makes, if not more. But what she found, like you said, is that personality and stuff, that's not up there. Like, no, that's not what's up. She's
something
like,
missing still.
That leaves a lot to be desired. I don't think so. So they had the money, right? But they're not kind. They're not caring. They don't think about the little things, whatever. So she's like, I'm good on that. That can't be the sole thing, the big thing that I look for. So that's one. Second thing is, not all men, and we can say black men because she's talking about that in here, is intimidated by a woman making more than them. I think that's very important to say right here, right? Because there are some men who can put that ego to the side, or they never even considered that to be like, oh, you know, you are like the man in the relationship because you make more than me, blah, blah, blah. I think it's more so on how the person acts when they have that much money,
That's
right?
True.
We have women. You know how movies do this too. Like, you know, we get these examples of you have somebody who is rich and things like that or in power, but you don't know that because that's not how you met them. So it's about that character. It's about that personality. Yeah. And if you have a woman and you find out she makes more, but does she act down to earth? Does she, you know, act the same as when you met her before you knew she had that money, blah, blah, blah? It should be no factor. It's no problem. But sometimes with us women, because of the things we face, because of, you know, how we had to get what we got, blah, 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 you know, people didn't respect us, then we start to let everybody know, don't get it twisted. I'm like this, I'm not going to take nothing from this. Submission, what? Blah, 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 all these things. That's more so what I feel like a lot of black men have a problem with. And so just because you make that high amount of money doesn't mean you can't. You know, people talk about that soft girl, blah, blah, blah. You can't do that. You can't let a man do those things for you. You can't not just make sure you take control of a room. You can still be that woman who like those things for men and want to be taken care of.
You can be a breadwinner and still be submissive to a good man, in a healthy way that puts you in the best position relationally and makes you happy. And what I love the most about it, and I don't know her, I didn't watch the whole interview. She could have said a lot of things. I'm like, yo, that's wild. No, I don't agree with that. That's not going to serve you well in relationships. So just in the context of this clip, that mentality, I think will serve her well in dating a lot better than the mentality of this person has to check every box that I need them to based on what I have been able to experience. She sounds like someone that has tried to talk to men that are of her level, if not make more, and she wasn't happy with the findings, or she didn't see a lot of men that fit what she desired, which is a black man. And I'm gonna say that this can be an unpopular opinion too, but I also think the self-awareness out there to say like, if marriage and having a family is the ultimate goal of you, if that goal is not higher, if your goal of being with a black man is higher than being married and having a family, then you're gonna have some struggles. And I'm not saying like, I think a lot of people are against interracial marriages and stuff, and I get it. I get why people have struggles with that, but I think if your goal is to be with someone of the same race more than it is to have a family or get married and have that aspect of your life explored, then you're going to find those struggles as well. And I'm just saying it's a fact that it will lower your dating pool. Yeah, well, yeah, because you're taking out the entire, this country is only like 12% black, and then of that 12% is like maybe 6%, 5-6% black men. Like you're clearly cutting the number in half of potential options. It's just a fact of life. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's your desire, but I do want to throw that out there because I like that she's self-aware that I am searching for something that's not going to be easy. So I have to understand that it may come in different packages. It may come in different financial states and different things like that. It may even come in the fact, like, I don't know if she has any children, but it might even come in the form of someone that's already had a child. So it's a lot of factors, but we would love to know what you all think and the different factors you all are considering with this conversation as well. So leave a comment below, and before you head out, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can catch all future videos and hit that notification bell so we can remind you when we have a video on the way.